Good Sunday morning. My name is Jaden Jefferson, and welcome to this week's Community Focus. This morning, I am checking in with the Ability Center to see what's coming up there in their organization. So joining me to talk about that is Stuart James, the organization's new executive director. Good morning.
Good morning to you too. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So the Ability Center does a lot of important work in the community. So give people an idea of what you guys have been doing and been up to lately.
Well, I came from California, but I've lived all over the world. I was in Beijing before that, in Auckland, in Spain, and then back to China and California, and on and on and on and on. And I was really lucky in my life because I had very supportive parents who didn't let me have my disability get in the way, right? And so I kind of had an epiphany when I was 40 that people didn't see me the way I saw me. And it was kind of a shocking moment because I saw me as, something completely different. And I realized that that others didn't have that advantage, particularly with disabilities. And I wanted to help kids, especially kids from all backgrounds, see themselves in a different way. And so I think there's a lot of power to that.
There definitely is. And a lot of the resources that the Ability Center offers are empowering for a lot of people. So for people that aren't familiar or haven't had the chance to utilize some of those services, what are they and are there value?
Yeah, the services here are great, and I'll tell you about them in a minute. But back to what I was sort of saying, one of the reasons we spend so much time getting people to understand that the world is open to them is because if you don't understand what you can do in life, you don't understand how the services benefit you, right? If you don't think you can be anything, then why would you even try to use the ramp services? You just stay home, lock yourself in. And, I want kids to dream beyond the boundary of their disability. If they want to be an astronaut or a lawyer or teacher or whatever it is, regardless of whether you think they can do it or not, it's irrelevant because they don't know the answer to that question. And you don't know the answer to that question. This applies to everybody, by the way, not just people with disabilities. And so once we get that sorted, then you realize, people with disabilities do need support. And so, we need to make sure you can get out of your house. So we have a ramp program that if you qualify economically, we'll put your house in a ramp on your house and make it accessible to you. For a lot of different reasons, you might need one of our cool dogs back there. We have these great dogs. They'll help you make the bed. They'll help you, do the laundry. Everybody wants one of those. And then of course we have peer counseling, and that's just people with disabilities helping other people with disabilities find their way in life.
And it is fascinating seeing how even animals can become so helpful and really helping people to really live life to the fullest. So it really is inspiring to see that. So for the Ability Center to offer all of these different programs, how are they supported and funded so that people can continue to utilize them?
We're supported by the community, really. We were very fortunate a long time ago to have two really large gifts. And so we have an endowment that supports a lot of the activities we do, but not all of them. And so it's really important that we have community help. And it can come from business or it could come from individuals. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, but we always like money. Everybody does, but it could also just be coming down to volunteer. It could also be just participating in one of our events. All the events we do are open to anybody, so you don't have to have a disability. And the more people that come down, in fact, I'm hoping you come down. The more people who come down and work with us and play with us, the better it is, because it's all about learning from each other. We only learn from each other when we play together and when we are in the same environment. And that's true, again, for all sorts of things. You can apply that across the board.
And that is the truth there. You really do have to do that just by communicating and learning from each other. And one of the things that I love hearing are those success stories of people who've been able to have those experiences. So would you say there are any success stories in particular at the Ability Center?
Oh my God, we have a lot of them. From the kids that we give scholarships to go to college. There's just many of them. We give thousands of scholarships out, or hundreds rather. it's hard to quantify sometimes the success stories because it can also be the little things. I mean, we have dogs that go into the schools, so they are helping thousands of kids, and not just kids with disabilities. Sometimes it's grief counseling. A child has lost a parent and is just having trouble dealing with it. A child is getting bullied in school, and the dog comes around and gives them some support, and makes them feel better. These are intangible things that make a big difference in a child's life. Hard to quantify sometimes that success. Um, but there's just thousands of success stories. It's hard to pinpoint well.
What do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions people maybe have about the Ability Center or people with disabilities?
That it's only for people with disabilities. This is a community center, really. Sure, our programming is always inclusive, which means that anybody participates, including and especially those with disabilities. But we are not just about disability. We are a community organization that hopes to make the whole community better.
What are some other ways that people can get involved if they're maybe seeing this interview? I know you mentioned volunteering, financial support, but I guess just pure community involvement. What are some different ways people can be a part of the Ability Center and what they're offering?
Well, there's lots. We're about to start a ramp building project where community members can come together and help us build ramps on homes. We always need fosters for the dogs. Our dogs don't live in kennels, they live in people's homes. And so we're always looking for people to help us raise puppies. Right now, I think we have about 60 puppies in the program. And so we're always looking for fosters. That's a big deal. People like the dogs. Helping us organize events. It's just any number of ways that you can help with us.
So many ways to help at the Ability Center and so many different wonderful programs and services that are being offered. I just love seeing that we have so many wonderful community organizations that are doing this work and receiving support from the community as well. Stuart James, the new executive director at the Ability Center, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me. I just want to jump in real quick because I want to say that, I've lived all over the world, and Toledo is one of the most underappreciated cities that I've ever been to. And I love that people like you are helping make it better and tell the world what a great place this is.